My dad was Baker Knight, and he was known for being a very well-known composer. Ricky Nelson, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Paul McCartney, Pat Boone, Perry Como. Oh gosh, Paul McCartney did, yes, did the song called "Lonesome Town," which is unbelievable. Gosh, there's so many people. I can't think. Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, there's just such a line of them, a row of them. I mean, of course, as a dad, I thought he was always really wonderful, but the main thing that I liked about him was his talent. I I was the president of his fan club for sure. Um, I just couldn't believe that he could write songs like that, like do everything, play everything, sing everything, all alone in his studio, And I just have to tell you this funny story really quick. I had given him this flower, those flowers that like move when they hear music. So I gave it to him, and I said, "Yeah, this is a present for you." So he put it in his studio. And my dad was working and, doing stuff, recording. And he said he looked over to the right and the flower was like grooving like so much. He said the flower was just going. And I thought that was the funniest thing. And, like his humor and all that, just the things that I think we have a lot in common. But I also have a lot of my mom because I am stronger. My mom is, I would have to say, is my best friend. uh, she's a gorgeous woman, and I always tell her that in the dictionary under woman, it is my mom. She's always been that way. She's always been gorgeous, and I don't even think she knows how beautiful she is, but she's always treated me really sweetly, and we've gotten along. We do a lot of things together. When I go to shows, she comes, and I don't know, she's just like having a best friend. My mom went to, I think she was somebody's house, an apartment or something, and she brought a girlfriend with her, and the girlfriend was supposed to like be with my dad, and my mom was with, I guess, this other guy. So they started talking, and my dad was drunk because my dad had a really bad drinking problem, also depression and all that stuff. So he was medicated a lot of the time. So I guess he was a little drunk and he, was singing some songs for my mom. And my mom was like, oh, God. And finally, she got to meet him another time where he was actually not. So and they used to go to a place that was on Sunset called the Sea Witch, which I think is a really cool name for a bar or a club. And used to see each other there. And my dad was like, saw my mom driving in her Thunderbird that said Dottie on the side, right? Here's this like woman in her, this gorgeous woman driving by, and my dad's just like, I gotta have that. So for some reason, there it went, and they got together, and that's how they met. I only know the part she'll tell me. No, I'm kidding. Um, she she went out with him for a little while. She said he was very shy and boy-like, but very handsome. And of course, she thought he was incredibly talented. She loved the way that he sang my dad's song "Lonesome Town," which actually was a really big hit with him. Even though Paul McCartney sang it, and I almost passed out. But uh, I think that I don't know. I think that my mom liked him too, but I think she's a little bit cooler about it. But he like went over in this club and like went over to her and like started to kiss her or something. And my mom was like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" There was like a couple of meetings I think that like weren't so great. And then all of a sudden, because she couldn't help herself, because he was completely so talented and so cute, that she decided, I think I'll go with this guy. He makes a good living. I'm gonna go with him.
Were there any instances of your dad keeping up with things that happened with Rick in his personal life, such as his divorce and things like that?
Yeah, he was always like connected to Ricky. The day that Ricky died, it was really weird. My mom and my dad were both like very, very, very upset, falling apart, crying, and it was a big deal around there. And my dad was later in the studio, his studio, and he had a picture framed of Ricky, and I don't know if he was in it, but it was a picture of Ricky. And as soon as my dad heard the news on the phone, that picture dropped and cracked all over the floor at the exact moment. So we were all a little spooked and thought, okay, well that's meant to be, you know. But my mom went out with Ricky Nelson. She met my dad, and she fell for my dad, which was incredibly smart of her, you know.
Do you want to talk about your father's passing?
Um, sure. Yeah. Well, it wasn't the most wonderful and glorious way to go out. He shot himself, and at first I felt I sort of course I broke down, and then I decided to think about it a little bit, and everybody was telling me, you know, you're mad at your dad. If I went to a therapist or whatever, you're mad at your dad. He abandoned you because my dad left me when I was like 15, and he never came back. So even though we had a good rapport on the phone and stuff like that, it was still not quite like having my dad there because he was my buddy. So to have your buddy taken away that early is going to affect you. And I think it's affected me in my life with men, definitely. Um, I think I understand why he did it. He was in a lot of pain. He had a surgery that didn't go right, left him in a lot of pain, and there wasn't really much they could do about it. So I think it just really got to be too much. And he just, although my dad, okay, had had like always kind of threatened to kill himself. My dad was always sort of like, I don't want to, I'm not gonna live. And when I was a little girl, it was scary because an ambulance would come in our house all the time, and the stretcher would come in, and I'd hide in my closet and and wait till the thing was, till it was gone or whatever, and then ask my mom what happened, and my mom would tell me. And, it was funny. I was playing a gig, and I remember clearly it was on a Wednesday night, and I just had this feeling when I was on stage. I'm like, I haven't spoken to him in 3 days, and that is so weird. I spoke to my dad every day, you know. So I thought, oh, yeah, well, maybe he's working music, whatever. But I just had this feeling that he had done something. So then I guess it was the next day, my mom and we called all the hospitals in Alabama to see if, he had checked in, he was there, whatever, and he wasn't anywhere. So it really scared me. So I called his sister, Noni, and I said, can you please go over there and see what's going on? Because I feel like something's happened. And she and his brother went over there, and they found him, and he had shot himself in his bedroom. And the sister would not go in, but the brother did. So I've always felt, even though I wasn't crazy about his brother, I've always felt that a really bad feeling for him to have to look at that and to see that, you know. So I think I've come to terms with his passing, understanding it. I have a lot of the same things he has. Um, Luckily, medicine helps me, and yeah, I'm okay about it.
What do you think his legacy is?
Oh,
Your dad's.
oh, definitely, just being just the most amazing writer ever. Just the most amazing writer ever. And what I loved is in his book, A Piece of the Big Time. It's funny because it's called A Piece of the Big Time, which makes you think right away, oh, wow, yeah, it's going to be the famous thing, how great it is. But it wasn't. It was exactly the opposite. It was like a piece of the big time. You think it's effed up is what it is. And so in the beginning of his book, um, he said, I want to thank my daughter uh, Tuesday night for her endless words of praise and how she believed in me and she believed in my talent. And I was really touched by that. And he said I was the light of his life. And it just, you know, that was hard, but it was so beautiful.
What do you think Ricky Nelson's legacy is?
I think that his is being the teenage star, beautiful boy. I think he sings with a certain innocence. I think he's known for being that kid, that you know what I mean. But then later, when he got older, and garden party and stuff like that, it was amazing because then he was starting to do his own writing and his own stuff, and I really liked him. And besides, he was, oh my god, his beauty was ridiculous.
Any
um
final words you want to leave the viewers with?
let's see. Final words for me would be to keep, if you have a dream and you know you want that dream in your life, I would say that the quitters don't get their dreams, but everybody who goes on and on and on will finally reach where they want to be.
That was beautiful. And Sammy did pass me a question here.
Mhm.
When you were little, did you develop hate towards your dad's career or success due to abandonment, perhaps? Does his legacy make you forgive him? That's a
No,
deep one, Sammy.
yeah. No, I never, ever, ever, ever felt like anything negative about that. I never did. Um, I always looked up to him. I mean, he was so funny because, he had a lot of people doing his demos, and one of them was Kim Carnes, which I'm sure you know. And I was like 8, and I'd go stay the weekend with my dad, and he would play them for me to see if I liked him. And I'd be like, no, I don't like it. Kim Carnes is singing it. Why don't I get to do your demos? And my dad was like, well, you know, you're really young right now, and you're going to grow up, and your voice is going to change. And, he's just trying to be so sweet about it. And then you can sing them. So he went and bought me a microphone and a big speaker. And when I would go to his house, he would get his tea and he would sit down on the couch and he would watch me sing to the record for hours. And now I look back and I go, oh my God, poor dad. But it was just, I think it was like so considerate, thoughtful, and supportive of him to do that.